Моля за вашите аплодисменти за Винсент Реган. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good. This is your spot.
Hello, Sophia.
How do you feel to be in Sofia? First time?
Yeah, this is my first time to Bulgaria, and it's a great place, a lovely city, and you're all wonderful people.
Guys, I want to remind everybody that we have a microphone over here and we're waiting for your questions for Vincent until you... it's over here? Okay, over here. На български българо-английски също мога да помагам, ако предпочитате да зададете въпроса си на български. So we're going to start with a few of my questions then, until we have brave people to follow that lead. Tell me, how much did you know about One Piece before becoming Viceadmirал Garp?
I knew absolutely nothing about One Piece. My agent emailed me to say, would I like to go to South Africa to work? I didn't think anything of it. And then she emailed me again and said, they are offering you the role of Garp in something called Project Panda. Thank you. Project Panda. And I'd never heard of Project Panda. Because Netflix are very security conscious, and so what they do is they give a big project, a big title, an IP or whatever you want to call it, a nickname, and so they called One Piece Project Panda. But of course I went to the internet after I was told I had this job, and I tapped in Project Panda, expecting to see lots of images of this terrific graphic novel anime, and I just saw lots of pictures of pandas, so I was really confused. But then when I was told it was One Piece, I did the same thing and I googled One Piece on the internet, and like my computer nearly exploded with the amount of information about what is obviously the biggest show on the planet and the biggest comic on the planet, really.
Yeah. And did we steal you now from filming season 2? Are you in the middle of filming season 2 now?
Yeah, they started filming season 2, I think 2 weeks ago in Cape Town. And what can I say? Yes, I am involved in season 2. I can't really say anything else.
That's official. I've read it online that you're involved in season 2.
Yeah, no, so I'm involved in season 2 as well, yeah.
Great. We're looking forward to that as well. Tell me a bit about filming something like One Piece. How does it work in terms of sets, in terms of... because it looks very complicated.
Well, a show about pirates, you'd think you'd be on the water a lot, but we are like 20 miles from the Atlantic Ocean in a big studio close to the airport in Cape Town, and they've got maybe 3 or 4 ships and then lots of blue screen. Everywhere you go is these big blue screens. So everything you see to do with the sea and the oceans, that's all CGI and blue screen. So it's a very technical process doing a show as big as One Piece. There's a lot of waiting around, a lot of boredom at times, but when we start filming the sequences, it's very exciting because the cast and the crew, the Straw Hat Pirates, they're all such fantastic young actors, and they bring a real energy and excitement to the show. So it's a really good project to be involved with.
Did you ever want to be a pirate when you were growing up?
No, not really, because I used to have to go on lots of boat trips as a child to Ireland, and I used to get sick a lot. So no, pirate, I'm not really cut out to be a pirate, really.
You're cut out to be the one who fights the pirates then.
exactly.
So Garp, who is he? What is he fighting for in life apart from obviously pirates? What do you know about him and why do you like him?
The character Garp.
Yeah.
It's interesting because a lot of people have said to me, people that really know the anime, that why is Garp so serious? Because usually Garp is a really cool, kind of laid-back kind of guy, has a great sense of humor. But the guys at Netflix, they wanted to tell a certain story in season 1 that meant that Garp had to be quite a serious character. And Garp's a really fascinating character. Basically, he has a code that he lives by, and he wants to instill that code in younger people. He cares a lot about the younger people, and especially with his grandson, who he desperately tries to dissuade not to be a pirate.
Unpirate him.
But that's never going to happen with Luffy.
Yeah, I am sure. But is there something, because that makes him a man of principle, he follows that code. Is there something that annoys you about him? You want him to be more, come on.
Yeah, I think his stubbornness, really. I think it's really important in life to give and take. And sometimes he's a bit of a hothead. But I suppose it's those elements which make him an interesting and exciting character to watch on TV.
For sure. You have been part in some huge productions with battle scenes and with a lot of incredible costumes and big epic scenes. How would you compare your experience in something like One Piece to I don't know, Troy?
With projects like Troy and 300, they were a lot more hard work because 300 especially, because that was everyday battle scenes and stunts and training, and whereas One Piece, I just get to wear a really cool costume and boss people about, you know.
Yeah, and you also, I find your accent fascinating. I love Welsh accent. Did you ever have to change it for a role?
Yeah, no, I change my accent all the time.
All the time, I'm sure.
All the time, yeah. I either do Scottish or Irish or American, you know. So in a way, it's good as an actor to be able to do a different accent because it means you sound like someone different. It's far easier to forget who you are and to invest yourself in the character if you sound different, you know.
Yeah. If you were to choose one of the other characters in One Piece to play, who would you play?
What, one of the characters in One Piece to play?
Yeah.
Not Garp. Another character.
Yeah.
If I was younger, I would really like to have played Sanji.
Okay.
Because he's really cool. But maybe if I was less old, I'd maybe play Smoker, maybe. But yeah, those would be the kind of characters.
And you have 3 children.
Yeah.
How old are they?
33, 17, and 11.
Are they fans of One Piece?
My 11-year-old is a big fan of One Piece, yeah.
So what does he say? How cool is it for your dad to be Garp?
It's pretty cool. Yeah, he has to admit that it's pretty cool and that I'm a pretty cool dad.
Hey!
What can I say?
Guys, don't be shy. Ask your questions to Vincent, otherwise I will keep going. And what happens to an actor's career after something? So you've been part of so many big things, like Troy, like 300 we mentioned already. Now One Piece. Does every piece, every film lead to opening more doors? How does it change?
I've been an actor now for 40 years. So my career, it changes. Sometimes I'm doing like a big project for Netflix or a big project for HBO or something like that, and then I'll go and do a small film or a theatre piece, or I'll get involved in doing something behind the camera with producing or writing and things. And then I get to come and meet all of you lovely people in Comic Cons. I've been doing a lot more Comic Cons since the show's come out, and it's great because you get to meet all your fans and things like that. So the one good thing about being an actor is you never quite know what you're going to be doing year on, year out. You know what I mean?
That is cool. I agree.
Yeah, it's cool.
We have brave people finally.
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is, we know that usually actors film a lot of scenes, and not all of them are in the final project. Is there one scene that you liked really, that was one of your favorite and isn't in One Piece, or 100, or 300, or Aquaman?
No, that's a really, really good question. Just to go over the question, are you saying, is there any scene that I filmed
And
on a
was cut.
project,
And
not
was-
just One Piece, no?
No.
Yeah, because
Whatever you want.
One Piece, the script was so tight on that, the script was so good that they didn't need to change anything in the edit. You know, sometimes with a script, the script can be a little bit all over the place, and that's where you really need great editors and stuff afterwards to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. And I've been involved in a couple of projects where I had some great scenes with some great actors in a really good movie, and I loved it, and I was really, really giving it some stuff, you know. But I knew that it was going to get cut, you know, because you can tell as an actor when you read a script, you go, that ain't going to make the final cut, yeah. So it does happen. I did a movie called Joan of Arc, The Messenger, with Mila Jovovich, about Joan of Arc, and I had some great story in that, but I knew it was going to get cut, you know.
Oh.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please. Can you speak as close as possible to the microphone, please?
Yep. Is it okay? Okay. Hi. Yeah, the set of One Piece was amazing. It had an amazing design, makeup, and everything. Did you ever feel tempted to maybe get a souvenir for yourself after the filming finished? Maybe like a small token or something.
Yeah, is the answer. Yes. I always try and take something from a set. We have magpies in England, a type of bird that steals all the stuff it can get hold of. Yeah, and I'm the same. And now that I realize how big One Piece is, I'm going to just try and steal as much stuff as I can and and try and sell it on eBay. You might see a scene where Luffy doesn't have a straw hat. Where's his hat?
Oh, well. Next question, please.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question who is general about your acting career. It's like a two-part. So, have you ever have a play character that you give everything from you, and in the end you're not satisfied how you played, how it's portrayed the character? And in the opposite, do you ever have a character that you got, that's maybe is not for me, that maybe is gonna end up very bad, and it still ended up amazing in the final cut?
Are there any characters that I've played that I felt I could have played it differently? And was I unhappy with the performance? Is that what you're asking? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I think most actors I know anyway are never happy with what they do. There's always something that you do. A lot of the time you'll do a scene, the camera will film you first, and then the camera will turn around and film the other actor. And a lot of the time, when you're filmed first and you do all your stuff, giving it your best stuff, and then they go, cut, print, whatever they say now. They don't say print anymore. because it's not on film, say cut, and then the camera turns around and they're filming the other actor, and then suddenly you have this moment where you go, oh shit, I know what I was doing wrong now. But it's too late, you know, and that happens a lot with me anyway. But yeah, with everything I do, I think I could have done something better. And sometimes when I think I've done something really, really well, and I'm really proud of it, I then see it at the premiere or on TV or whatever, and I'm like, why did I do that? Why? So yeah, it's an ongoing problem for every actor. Failure.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I wanted to ask, what do you think about the final project One Piece? And what is your favorite scene or character or anything in the show?
With season 1 of One Piece, I think they pretty much got it really, really spot on with the production design and with the stunts and with the set pieces. My favorite moment in season 1 was the destruction of Arlong Park in the last episode, where the whole edifice comes crumbling down and there's the big fight at the end and the big fight with Arlong. I just thought it was so well produced and done. Yeah, that would be my favorite thing. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, hello. I would like to ask if you watched the anime of Garp, what do you think of his live-action adaptation of your characters? And in the future, would you like to change something or add something about his character?
What would I like to change or add about Garp's character? I would like, in future, for Garp to be more easygoing, more of the character that, you know, all the anime and manga fans really love about Garp, which is kind of like his sense of humor and his kind of craziness, because Garp's very serious in season 1, and so I'm hoping that he lightens up a bit, really. I hope that answers your question. Does that answer your question?
Yes, also compared to the anime.
Anime version.
Compared to the anime, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like how it all finished?
Well, I haven't read all of One Piece, you know, because I only came to One Piece 2 years ago, and I think if you read all of One Piece, you'd have to be reading for like, what, 5-6 years, like 10 hours a day, you know? So yeah, that's the answer. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know enough of the world, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We have a Straw Hat Pirate.
Hi, Garp. If you had to choose one person from the entire One Piece cast to be here with you in Bulgaria, who would you choose?
If I had to think of one person to be here with me from the One Piece cast, it would be Zeph, Craig Fairbrass. Because he often comes with me to some of these Comic Cons, and he's just an old friend. But any of the Straw Hats, because they're all such great guys. So. And
Thank you.
girls.
Thank you.
Sorry, Nami.
Hello. My question is, have you met the creator of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda? And if you have, what do you think about him?
I've never met Oda because when I was working in South Africa, he was in Japan, and when he came to South Africa to see the shoot, I wasn't there. So I'm hoping that I'll meet Oda this summer. Fingers crossed.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Hello. So One Piece has devil fruits. Would you ever eat a devil fruit, and what ability do you think is worth to not be able to swim?
Or devil fruit.
Yeah.
What devil fruit would I like to eat and why?
Which devil fruit would you eat, and which powers you think are worth it to lose the ability to swim over?
I don't know. Is there a devil fruit where you can go back in time? Like 5 minutes?
Just 5 minutes.
Is there one of those? Because if you think about it, that's just the coolest devil fruit to get, isn't it? You know, someone's about to punch you, but you've got your devil fruit, you go back 30 seconds and you kick him in the backside. You know?
Yeah.
Seems to
Fair.
me. And if it's time, you can go forward and you can check the lottery numbers as well, you know. Practical devil fruit that you can use in 21st century Europe, yeah. That would
Thank
be cool.
you.
Thanks, man.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, thank you for being here. I'm a really big fan. I have actually 2 questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
go.
thank you. The first question is, what are the differences between working on movies and working on TV shows?
That's an interesting question. The schedule is usually slightly different, and it also depends upon the budget of the show. You can be involved in some big projects for HBO and Netflix, you know, and you've got time because they've got money. So a lot of sequences, you get to shoot them, you get to rehearse them properly. But then with smaller projects, which can be really exciting, a lot of small independent films or certain TV shows, you don't have as big budget, so you end up having to do a lot in one day, and sometimes you have to compromise because you don't have the time. But basically, film and TV, they can be very similar. They use the same cameras now, you know, and yeah, very similar.
And my second question is, would you ever like to branch out into voice acting? For example, just let's say Fun Animation calls you and they want you to audition for a role, a voice acting role in the One Piece anime. Would you take it?
Absolutely. Of course.
Excellent.
Do you know something I don't? Do you have a phone number?
Maybe.
Have you spoken to my agent?
Probably. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Next question.
How does Luffy's hat never fall off? He flips in the air in fight scenes.
How?
Is it magic?
Yeah. Well, if you look at the credits at the end of the show, quite the way down, there's a little credit, magic person, and he works for Netflix, and you see all that stuff, things flying in the air. It takes a lot of time and a lot of concentration, but that magic guy can get stuff to move.
So it's not a magic hat.
Sorry?
It's not a magic hat.
What, darling?
It's not a magic hat, is it?
It is a magic hat.
Oh.
I just told you. It's a magic hat.
You don't believe him.
No.
With a little
No,
help of,
no,
with a
she
little
doesn't
help of
believe
CGI. It's all done in the computer. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's called computer magic, yeah.
Computer magic. Bill Gates magic.
Hello, thank you
Hello.
so much for being here. You already mentioned that you don't read ahead, but you also said that you have 2 sons who do love One Piece. And I know Netflix adapts the manga and the anime a bit differently, very well, but a bit differently in pace. Was there ever a storyline that your sons or someone else told you, well, like, I can't wait for you to get to this part, to do this scene? Do you know anything that happens that you're excited about?
It happens to me all the time. I'm in the supermarket, and then some people will come up and go, when are they going to do the Marineford arc? you know. And then someone else will come up and say, when are they doing the Grand Line arc? And I have to shake my head and go, I don't know is the answer, you know. I do know one thing is that the difficulty that Netflix have is to make, to be as faithful as they possibly can to the anime and the manga, but at the same time they have to make 7 hours of television. So there's certain rules that they have to apply on top of the original IP, if you understand. And so ideally there's going to be 100 seasons of Netflix, One Piece, fingers crossed. But it's such a massive universe to get on screen. And so they have to make changes. But hopefully everyone's favorite stories will eventually make it to the screen in the years to come.
And have you been made aware of a special arc that you know how it unfolds in details that you personally are looking forward to adapt, or you have no idea?
No, I refer to my an earlier answer. There's a lot about One Piece I don't know about, you know.
No. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my questions are can I ask the questions?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, so my first question is, what's your technique on memorizing your lines?
I try and learn my lines like maybe a month before I go on set, if I have the chance, if I'm lucky to get the lines early, and then I learn them and then forget them. And then when you turn up on the day, hopefully, fingers crossed, they come out just like normal speech. I try not to learn my lines too close to the day of filming.
Yeah. My second question is, what's your favorite food from One Piece?
Steak.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I have two questions. What first do you think of One Piece, the first season?
I was at first. I thought that it would bomb because every live-action manga anime has bombed. So we were expecting quite a hostile reception for it. But when I watched it, I was totally engaged with the story, with all the characters, and it's got such a big heart as a piece of television that I'm very proud of it, and I'm very proud of the team that were involved in making it. Yeah, so I think it's great. What's not to
My
like?
second question is, if you could voice act someone from One Piece, who would it be?
If I could do what to someone in One Piece?
If you could voice act another character, who would it be?
Voice.
I don't know, maybe Smoker, I think. I don't know. Yeah. Why, do you think there's someone I could do?
Yeah,
Who?
maybe like Whitebeard.
A white beard. And why? Because I've got a white beard.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Vincent. My name is Audrey. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank you. I have a question for you. When you happen to perform, do you ever feel like laughing, and how do you avoid that? Do you have a technique to stop it? Party trick?
No, that's the problem. If I start laughing, that's it. I'm finished. I'm notorious. Basically, there's certain actors that I can't look at when I'm working with them because they'll look at you kind of funny, and that will be it. And then every time you look at them, you just can't help thinking they're kind of funny, and you just corpse. Like, I've been at work and we've lost like an hour of the day because we can't get our shit together. you know.
How often do you retake scenes? How often do you retake scenes?
Usually, depends what kind of sequence it is. If it's a complicated sequence involving action and stuff, you can do it quite a lot because there'll be some element that doesn't quite work well. I mean, I did a film 300, and there was one sequence where I had to fight like loads of guys and it was one take. The camera was pulling back and I had to fight all these guys, like 10 Persian dudes, fight them all. And then I had to go on the ground and be pulled back and we did it and I was like, yeah, this is great. No, we did this little thing wrong. And so we reshot that 34 times.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it depends, really. Sometimes it can be one take, 2 takes, but sometimes it can be quite a lot.
I see. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
There's a lot of weird stuff in One Piece. For example, your blue-eyed bearded snail that you happen to talk into.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that when you heard of it at set, it really raised your eyebrows?
Yeah. Anything to do with those snails. Because I've spent a long time working as an actor, gaining a reputation, and I get upstaged by a snail. And then I come to Comic Con conventions, and all they want to do is talk about the bloody snail. What is it with you people?
And what does a snail look like when you're acting with it?
The funny thing is, on my ship, in my cabin, on my desk is my snail, and underneath my desk is a hole, and there's a puppeteer under my desk, moving around, acting the snail, and I'm doing the scene, and then the snail gets it wrong, and I'm saying, how many times do we have to redo this because of the snail? Who's going to believe it was the snail that made the mistake?
Absolutely no one.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, my
Hey.
name is George,
Hey, George.
and I have 2 questions for you. First one is, even though you're part of many pop cultural phenomena, including One Piece and so on, I have a question about DC and your role as King Atlan. So how is it going to work from now on that James Gunn and Peter Safran are the new bosses of DC, and do you have any future in the main DCU now?
I think kind of the question is, will there be another Aquaman movie?
I hope so.
It did big numbers, I think. Did big box office globally. And that's usually the answer to any question. How well did the last movie do? And if it does really big in the box office, then yeah, there'll be another one down the line. I don't know whether my character will be involved unless it becomes some weird prequel, because King Atlan existed in the universe like 1,000 years before. So I was like a backstory character. But I loved working on Aquaman, and I think it's a really great franchise. So, hey, if that phone rings, I'll answer it.
Would you like to do something new, maybe for the DCU? Because probably Jason Momoa is going to be like Lobo or something. So do you think that you might represent another character or something?
I would love to. I would love to. And do you know the great thing is now, you don't have to train anymore for weeks on end. You just put on a suit that makes you look like you've got really loads of muscles. Fantastic.
Okay, and the last one is, what is the hardest thing that you have done, like for rehearsal or for an acting piece?
300.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question, please. Let's try to keep them one question each. Sorry, because we're running out of time.
Hello.
Hello.
I would like to ask you, how did you start as an actor and as a voice actor?
I began, like a lot of actors in London, I went to acting school at like 19. And then I left acting school at 21, and I started working in small theatres. And then I went to a place called the Royal Shakespeare Company. And so I did a lot of Shakespeare when I was young, and theatre, and a national theatre and stuff. And I didn't do any film or any TV. I didn't care about doing film or TV. I just wanted to do theatre shows. And then I started to get a few TV roles, and then one thing led to another. I started to get bigger jobs and stuff. Yeah, so my background is the theatre.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Hi, sorry, but I had to ask about snails. How much do you think it would hypothetically cost for a snail, like the puppet itself?
How much would it cost for a snail? Why have you got one to sell?
No, I got one to buy.
Okay, you want to buy a snail?
Yeah.
Okay, well listen, we'll swap numbers, okay? And I'll call you in South Africa, and you go online and see if you want the highest price you can get, and I'll work out how we're going to kidnap the little shit, okay? Get him out of the country and get him on the dark web, okay?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds about right. Thanks.
Thank you. That will be the last question, please.
Hello, sir.
Hey.
Pavel. My question is about the artificial intelligence in the scientific movies, and particularly, what do you think about that your face can be made in the future, like in the 10, 20, 30, 50 years, like you will be always living in these movies? Do you have to allow this, or your company make you like you must do this?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. And in many ways, that's part of the reason why there was a big strike in America last year. Because a lot of production companies now, when you start a project, they scan you. And they take your virtual image and then they store it to use if they need to in post-production. So it's really important that the acting unions take control of that, because if the worst came to the worst, there could be a situation where they don't need us anymore. You know, they can just use virtual recreations of us for lots of stuff. So it's a concern. I don't think that you can generate AI drama, because at the end of the day, drama is about human beings, and it's about the eyes and about the heart. But I'm very concerned about how they can use technology to replace background actors, for example. You know, a lot of people, you know, it's their living, you know, being involved in these big projects. And we want to make sure that they continue to have a living and they're not replaced by, you know, AI.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, let's have another round of applause for Vincent. If you want to meet him, there is meet and greet
Thank
section.
you very much.
Thank you so much for being here with us. Vincent, do you want, we can take, do you want a photo? Monish, let's take a selfie with Vincent. Louder! Okay. Thank you so much. Very nice to meet you.